Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. We're in Season 2, Kwesi, and this is Episode 3. Now, Kwesi, this is an absolutely jam-packed episode. We say that every week, but it's so different. As always, I am your host, Adam.
I'm Kwesi.
Okay, everybody, we gotta dive in. So, as I was making the podcast notes for today, I get some news about Apple, and I was really just upset myself that I heard this from a non-Apple person, a person that is completely Android, that Tim Cook is retiring from Apple in his current role. Now, here's the next part of that. People thought that this is the first time I heard about this, or this was going to happen. And Kwesi, as we both know, it's just not a true statement at all. We have been talking so much in this podcast about this very thing happening in Apple that John has for months been working with Tim to do this change of role and to prepare John Ternus, the next CEO of Apple, to be just that. And I want to go through this with you, Kwesi, because to me it's a very big change. It can be scary, but I don't actually feel scared at all about this.
I don't see why
What are
you
your
need to feel
initial
scared.
thoughts, Kwesi, about this role change?
Well, you can't be CEO forever, right? It's literally impossible. One day, you're going to either have to step down, your company's going to fail, or you're going to die, right? Luckily, Tim Cook is not dying, and his company's not failing. That leaves the third option. He has to step down, right? And, I really like the way they're doing this, right? Because when Steve Jobs needed his successor, him and Tim Cook were like this, right? Tim Cook was pretty much always around Steve Jobs. He was pretty much learning how to be CEO since day one. So it's really impressive. Or I shouldn't say impressive. I really like the way that they're going about this and training up their next CEO so that the company could stay on the right path. And not only that, but, under new leadership, they're going to have new ideas. They're going to have new things. Don Ternus was what was he, the Apple Watch guy? No,
No,
he was
no.
definitely
That
not the Apple
person
Watch guy. He
actually
was,
stepped down. He was in charge of hardware at Apple. And realistically, he was like right under Tim Cook as a VP, and pretty much, he didn't really, no one really said this, but he was really number 2 in the company, if that made sense. Because without his approval, things didn't get done. Because Tim left this completely with John to make those calls. I'm sure he had some input with this, right? But it was up to John. That's one thing Tim gave him free rein with it completely, and I love that. It was just amazing. But Kwesi, did you know this? So we talk about certain things that they should see in Apple and things you might not know. And one thing that I did not know, and it makes complete sense now hearing about this, is we got this report from Marcus Gramuntis. I'm going to bring up that because Genius Bar is not a thing anymore. John Ternus has a different approach, and will have a different approach for being CEO of Apple. And I'm looking for this because it's a different way that Apple's going to shape the company that it has never done before. Before, when there was ideas and projects and whatnot with Apple, and they brought to Tim would collaborate those ideas with other people in the team, hardware, software, and so on, right? So basically John, and you had Craig Federighi and so on at Apple. That was his approach to that, which is not necessarily a bad idea, but he didn't make the decision all by himself. John Ternus is not that kind of guy. He will answer those questions and then talk with the team to make it happen. Some might say that's a great move. Some might say that's a pretty risky move. But at the end of the day, that's the way he approaches things and what he did before. And one example of this, if you do not know this, is also officially announced now, that John Ternus was, in fact, the sole person that had the idea and put in place the MacBook Neo. And we see a massive success with that. It's a ballsy move, And it's a showcase of what John Turner does as a person. And no one else does that, Quasi. Who thinks of putting an iPhone chip in a Mac? And it works way better than anybody ever expected it to, right? Like they're pushing it to its limits, and it has limits, but they're far exceeding what people thought it could ever do, like for what it has respects. So that to say, he has a great approach to things, and I kind of like that. And he's also kind of said already to some news outlets that he could be wrong in certain choices, but he's still going to have input from certain people at Apple, but he's just going to take the air and just go with it. And he has a lot of ideas to make products sharper, more intrusive in a way, not intrusive, more, there's probably a good word for this. I'm just blanking right now. More innovative in the sense. So I think he was held back sometimes of what he wanted to do, and now he can make those calls. For me, I am very much all for John Turner. I think he's the best option that Apple could have ever done for CEO outside of Craig Federighi. But at the same time, I always thought that Craig would be a really good CEO, but then I think about it. That very man approved and let Apple Intelligence go.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but that as a person of what he does, unless he's pressured just to do it, and if he had just time to hold that back and to really test that and still released it, I gotta say that was an awful choice. Now, if he is pressured and just saying it's gotta go out my way, if you're right or not, I don't care, that's a whole different story. But I don't think John Turner on the hardware side has ever made an awful choice in pretty much anything. I mean, can you think of one, Quasi, or no?
Not off the top of my head, because as a company, Apple doesn't really make a ton of bad choices, right? But I'm sure he's made a mistake here or there, because you're making him out to be like he's some sort of superhuman. He's not superhuman. He's just like you and me. So granted, he might be better at making decisions because he's in a much different position than you and I are. This guy works at Apple. Not only does he work at Apple, but he's a top VP, right?
Yes.
That's impressive. So but I definitely think he's made a mistake here.
Okay, so here's one thing that's also in the lineup of just things that's going to be happening for changes. So we're seeing now that Johnny, now I'm going to butcher his last name, Sorgi, the guy that makes the M series chips at Apple, that very guy that we heard before was really thinking about leaving Apple. And for various different reasons, we don't know what they are quite yet, but he thought he was just going to leave and retire and be done, right? Now he has the role that John Turnus did hold of being the hardware head lead of hardware at Apple. Here's what I'll say. If this man puts as much effort as he does making chips at Apple into this role, I have high hopes for him as well. Those two people, I don't know, they're a good pair at what they do. And Johnny has never, ever disappointed me in making a chip at Apple. He makes them far better every year, and I don't know how he possibly does that year after year. He's really good at what he does.
Sure. He's great.
So I'm so happy to have him be that new role because he understands that side of things. He's an engineer. He gets this entire process. Although he was limited to just doing chips, I can't see him doing any worse at doing the whole hardware lineup because he understands that so well. And I really think that's a great choice. Now, people are going to be asking, when's this happen? It's going to happen next year. It's going to happen in the year after. Actually, September 1st. So just before we get to the September event with Apple. So this is going to potentially be the first event where we might just see Tim kind of pass the baton to John. Or maybe it's just going to be John. Who knows? I have to imagine that because Tim's not really leaving Apple, they'll be part of the event still. But I don't know. They could just make this super different, and we'll see. With this being said, it was an abrupt thing, and I really think that Tim made mention to news outlets that he wasn't leaving Apple, and he's not leaving Apple. It's the truth. But it's just something that I'm excited for. Now we have to go back and look at the timeline of Tim. One stat that I seen that was amazing, and I don't want to talk too much about this, Quasi, because you have some things too. But he brought Apple from a 350 million a year profit margin to $4 trillion. And there are people that say that Tim Cook has done nothing at Apple, and there's no way you can see of that turnaround of profit that that's a true statement. He may not have made the most biggest changes for product lines, right? He may have not pushed the boundaries of certain things, but you cannot say that he wasn't innovative. He made Apple what it is today. From 350 million to 4 trillion, that's a massive number. I can't count that high right now.
I
Okay,
could never
so
count that high.
that's something that is you cannot say that he has not done something in Apple that is worth mentioning because that is a massive bump. And to date, Apple is, I think he is rated, Tim Cook is rated the most successful business person as a CEO of the entire nation, hands down. Because you see like companion companies making lots of money too, but no one's went to that much of a jump in profit in a year or two or more, right? So I'm just super happy that this is happening. I think John is a perfect choice for CEO. He's young, he has ambition, and that's something that we need at Apple. Not that Tim did not have that, but he definitely had a drive and a passion for what he did. But I think
When
John's
you
a
say
great
young,
choice.
what's your definition of young?
Like, isn't John like 60 something?
That's
I
young
don't
to you?
know. Well, he looks young.
Well, he's actually 50. He was born in
50?
1975, so.
Okay, so he's 50.
But if I was rich, I'd look young too. You know, if I had enough money to not look like I age, I would look like I age. Anyway,
He,
in other news, can I give you some of Tim Cook's greatest accomplishments while we're looking back on his time as
let's do this,
CEO?
Quasi. I know I'm talking too much to start this, but I'm just so passionate
No,
about
you're
this.
okay. Hey, so first and foremost, like you said, the company started at $348 billion in 2011 when he became CEO, and today it's worth $4 trillion, right? And not only that, Apple was the first $1 trillion company. Tim Cook led them to be the first $1 trillion company. He also created new product categories such as the Apple Watch and the AirPods, which have just dominated their respective markets. Right? He put the Macs on Apple Silicon, and I can say Apple Silicon because that includes like M1, the M chips, and the A series chips. So that's been just insanely successful as we've seen. Um, and he's also made a lot of profit off of Apple's services division. Like iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Pay, and Apple TV.
Can I
You
pause
wouldn't
you right
know
there
it,
for one
but those
second?
things make, huh?
I want to pause you just for one second about that. So I thought in my head yesterday, had discussion out loud, I thought that Apple made more money off services than hardware. Upon looking this up, I am vastly incorrect. Like not even close. So the stats were yesterday, I looked this up. Apple makes about $200 billion a year in profit from hardware and about $9 billion a year in software services. That could be, App Store purchases, music, whatever have you, iCloud, all this other stuff. So I thought because you buy a Mac or an iPhone that you might spend more money on services with Apple and then making so much money from that. And they make money from it. But the hardware, by great multitudes, may make most of the profits, about 75% of their profit margin. I was shocked at that stat, but that's just a fun little stat. Proceed, Quasi.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's really interesting. Um, and then just what he was known for, right? Starting off, we talked about it back in season 1, episode 8, titled "Is Tim Cooked?" Go ahead and go take a look at that. But he came in as a guy who had a right on time philosophy, right? His supply chain timing was just at, oh my goodness, you're not understanding. Apple used to
It's,
struggle to get things out, and this man Tim Cook made it so that they were the most efficient in the entire market, right?
yes.
And then, did you know that before Tim Cook was CEO, Android was the dominant phone in India, and Tim Cook has just about turned it on its, I don't even know how to say it, like he's just turned it all around, and India is now predominantly, and when I say predominantly, let's look at the stats. How much of India has an iPhone?
Less than 60%.
Yeah, man, it's over 60% of the super premium segment. Not entirely sure what that
That's
means, but that's a lot. I know 60% is big,
it's
right?
actually more than half, actually.
Yeah, no, it is more than half. In addition to that, right? Um, the Vision Pro, right? I think that might be sure. Everybody knows it was a Steve Jobs project, right? But the Vision
Vision
Pro
Pro?
is one of the Vision Pro has been worked on at Apple since Steve Jobs was around.
Wow.
Yeah. So apparently not everybody knows that it was a Steve Jobs project. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But it was originally a Steve Jobs project, but Steve Jobs died and Tim Cook was faithful and he led the way on that development. And finally, you know, this man is just great and he loves the environment, right? He's turned Apple into one of the most sustainable companies. I think they have like a Project 2030 where they're trying to get all of their products to be net zero in the carbon. And I'm I didn't realize I was that big of a fan of sustainability, right? But like as you get older and as you realize you want your children to live on the same earth, it becomes increasingly more important to you. So Tim Cook, man, you've been my favorite CEO for a while now, dude, and it's kind of hard to have you leaving. But just know that I hope you do really well in your next position. And I hope you have a great time. Just you've done so much. You're already top two Apple CEOs of all time. You might not be number two. People are making an argument for you being number one. And I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's insane. You did a great job. You turned this company around. Not that this company was on a decline when you got it, but you were able to, whew, you know what I mean? So I love you, Tim. Oh, did you know that he's also the first gay Fortune 500 CEO? Not,
I
not
did
not
know that. Yes.
not that it's
So,
like the most important thing that you've ever heard, but that's a cool little tidbit.
so, just so everybody also knows, Tim will be moving to executive chairman of Apple's board of directors. So, is that kind of in turn meaning that he's still John's boss? Because the board of directors is like a group collectively in charge of the CEO. And now Tim will hold that executive chairman of the board. So it kind of sounds like, in an odd way, Tim will still be running Apple with John making the calls. I don't think he's going to like have this role to still be in charge and make calls and stuff like that. He's going to let John completely do that. Like I don't think it's going to be a thing, but I think that because of where he's going to be, he might still have some influence with some things and he may give some guidance, but I don't think that he's going to like overstep and like, not let John have his creative freedom, if that makes sense. you know? But it's odd to me because generally speaking, the board of directors is who the CEO reports to. Tim Cook will be in charge of the board of directors. Interesting. That's not a bad thing at all, but it just seems like a very interesting role change. So
You know
that's
what
good to
is
see
kind
this,
of a bad thing, Adam?
Huh?
You know what is kind of a bad thing?
What's that?
The MacBook Neo is just like not available right now because they sold out. So if I wanted to buy a MacBook Neo, right, I would have to wait until dang near next month, right? Not great for me, right? As an individual consumer, that is not great for me. You know why, Adam? I have a little brother, right? You know, I was gonna try and say something nice about him, but I really don't like him. He's always getting in trouble, and he's always hurting himself. I don't want to say he's an idiot, but he's almost there, right? I love him to death, but he's almost there. I wanted to get him a MacBook Neo, put down $599 for him. Currently learning how to edit and stuff, and he needs a computer. We established earlier that the MacBook Neo, unless you're like editing 5 different streams of video at the same time, is going to be a decent enough device. Time out, a little bit unrelated. Did you know that Adobe is giving out Premiere Pro for free on the iPhone? Just didn't know that. That's kind of cool. You should probably go download that app. Maybe I should have made that my app of the week. I don't know. But yeah,
Really?
so my little brother's been
Like,
asking my parents.
is that currently a thing?
Yeah, no,
Like right
like
now?
go download it. Like, hold on, I actually have it downloaded and installed. Look, Premiere right here, and then obviously I haven't edited anything on it yet, but this is really cool. Like what I was seeing, you can create for YouTube Shorts. Hold on, let's
So you're
pick a
saying it's
random video.
free,
I'm
but I
saying it's
do
free.
definitely see a thing saying that there's in-app purchases.
Yeah, but like you don't have to make any in-app purchases. Like the thing is actually free. Like you can edit for free, no watermark. Like I think that's really
What's the
cool.
in-app purchases for?
There's some expansion. Whoa, words are hard. There are some expansion packs that you could add. But back
It
to my
just
thing.
literally says Premiere Mobile monthly, Premiere Mobile yearly.
I
And
just
for some reason, it has that same two sets of things twice at the exact same price point. Okay. Um,
I couldn't even find where to make these in-app purchases. So
Free to download and use. Everything you need to create great videos is available for free. Only pay when you need Firefly generative AI credits.
yeah, yeah,
So
isn't that
they're
cool?
just kind of wrong with saying that because they literally show in-app purchases of not AI credits but Premiere Mobile Monthly,
Yeah, I'm not
1 month
entirely
for
sure what that's
seven ninety
about.
nine,
Well, I think you have
and
to
for
download
one
it and
year
then figure it out
69.
for us. But unrelated, back to, or I guess it is kind of related. Back to my thing. I was gonna
That's
buy my
awesome
little
though.
brother a MacBook Neo. Right? It's not his birthday or anything, but he's getting to that age where he does need a computer. And I was at his age. I didn't have a computer, and I was struggling through school because of it. Huh, struggling is a bit of an over exaggeration, but I was gonna get him one, and now I just can't. You go to the Apple website and you try to buy a MacBook Neo, and it says the earliest it can be delivered is never. Right? It's just not coming. It's really unfortunate. So actually, let me see if I can get one right now. No trade-in, buy, Apple Care. No,
Quasi,
thank you. If
can
it
I
breaks it, it
challenge
breaks it.
you? Can I challenge you
Yes,
something? Do you think you can edit this episode with this version of Premiere Pro?
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why would you say that?
Why would I say that? Because
Like,
I'd have
is
to
it lacking that
download
many
over
features?
an hour to my phone.
You have to
It's just not
download what?
convenient. This episode of over an hour to my phone.
It, does your phone not have enough space?
No, it has enough space. It's just it's a unnecessary third man. I don't know. What am I trying to say?
I mean, I guess here's my question. I'm sorry we're going way off topic here. My question to you is, do you think that the capabilities of what you see in the desktop app is also included with this app? Have they dumbed it down a little bit? Or are they really giving you kind of the same feature set where if you so desired, you could use your phone and or iPad to do the full editing capabilities that you do now?
Well, let's find out.
Just because I'm just asking, because Quasi, if you did not know, is who edits the whole episode for YouTube and well, it's just YouTube, I guess, and I do the shorts. This might be a cool thing. I don't know. That's what I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, it
I know
looks
I'm
like
going
it's
vastly off topic here, but
I don't know. It looks like it's got all the features from what I'm seeing right here. And
It
I
kind of looks well, that's kind of dumb.
yes, 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 yes. So yeah, it looks like it has a lot of effects, a lot of transitions. I don't think it has every effect, right? It's definitely missing some stuff from the desktop app for sure, but nothing that's super important
Well,
for
there's
the
one thing I
everyday
just
editor.
cannot understand.
What's that?
You can't have more than one video.
What do you mean you can't have more than one video?
So, like, try to add a second video to it. It just replaces what you have there.
No, it doesn't.
There's not
These are
guess.
two completely separate videos right here.
Oh, they're just. Can you not move them like down one line? If that makes sense. To
No, you
like,
got to move them up a line.
yeah,
Uh,
if you can believe it, like mine just does not do that at all.
if you hold on it, like hold on that individual clip,
Oh, okay, yep, I
it's
see.
okay, guys. He's learning. He doesn't do this regularly.
Hey,
This
hey,
is
hey,
his
hey,
first
hey.
time downloading the app.
It's just
It's completely
literally,
different on computer.
yeah. Okay, okay. This is actually kind of cool. This is not even part of the show notes whatsoever.
No, absolutely not.
I I
I just
kind of
thought it
think
was really
that's a
cool.
very cool thing. Good job, Adobe. Very good job.
Indeed.
Wow. Okay,
So
I'm
like
very
I was
sorry for going
saying,
off
two to
topic.
3 weeks to get that MacBook Neo.
See, that's not
Um
true though,
it's not.
because you can go to Amazon actually right now, if
Amazon.
you can
Okay,
believe
let's
it.
see.
And so there was an update to that topic as of this morning. This is why you have seen it. So they literally have the Neo in both of them in stock. If I order it right now, it'll be here in five
Sure.
days.
This is true.
Still kind of a delay for Amazon because usually, well, it's supposed to have 2 days shipping or 1 day. You
It
know
is $180 more expensive. No, I lied. It's just $80 more expensive.
where?
That's almost $90 on Amazon. It's originally $4.99. The 256 gigabytes on Amazon is $5.89. So I guess it's a supply and demand thing, but I will not be paying that.
So I see $5.99 on Amazon for 256,
Yeah,
and
which is
then
$100 more than the 256 that you'll get from Apple.
that's just not true.
Yes, it is.
256 from Apple is exactly $5.99.
All right, take a look.
There right now.
Are you seeing my screen?
No,
Okay, let me try this again.
you're on educational discount, by the way, just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they know I'm a student.
So MSRP
Yeah, I mean,
is $5.99,
I'm just not paying more than my student discount, it seems.
but the
I will
512
happily
is
wait for $100
$10
off.
cheaper at $6.89 than MSRP from Apple,
That's awesome.
and they have it in stock.
I didn't realize that Apple was automatically applying student discounts now. This is
Well, when you log in with your account and you match that, it
mm,
just continues the discount train. So yeah,
that's
I mean,
awesome.
absolutely. If you're a student or educator and or work in a college or whatever educational sector, take
It's
advantage of that
time to wait.
discount
Yeah,
because that's pretty nice. And I do
indeed.
believe it. And you'll know. Well, you see, that's probably more than me. With a student purchase, do you get like Apple Care included with that, or do you have to still pay for that extra?
You definitely still have to pay extra.
Is it discounted also, or not really?
No. Apple
No.
Care is the exact same price.
I just
But I
think
would recommend
there's no
getting Apple Care
reason.
anyway, because
Why?
here's a funny little story. On Sunday morning, right? It was about 12, right? Me and my friend Alex. Alex just came back from Minnesota, right? We're playing 2K, right? And Alex hits a game-winning layup on my center who's just mind you, I was up. Here's the thing, right? We had to go to overtime because my center fouled Harrison Barnes, 40-year-old Harrison Barnes on a dunk when we had the lead by 3, right? So Harrison Barnes gets an and one play, right? Should have never been in this position, right? It's really unfortunate, right? That same center gives up a game-winning play, right? I get upset. I throw my controller on the beanbag, right? Usually there's nothing on the beanbag. Unfortunately, Alex has left his phone on the beanbag. Alex's phone now shattered. It's really unfortunate, right?
Ooh.
Really, really unfortunate. And the more unfortunate part is he doesn't have Apple Care, so out of pocket it's going to be like $300, right? Now, I have told him I'd cover the cost of the replacement because I felt bad. I didn't feel bad
And it's
about
probably the
breaking his
right thing to
phone. I
do
just felt bad
because you
that,
shattered it.
he didn't have a phone. But, everybody knows that if something like that happens to me, the controller's going straight into the beanbag. Um, Apparently Alex forgot. So it's really
So
unfortunate.
it wasn't intentionally like, okay,
Absolutely
since
not.
since
Mind
you
you,
you
there
won,
was
I'm
only
gonna mess your phone up.
a 6x2 area that his phone was at, and I somehow managed to hit it square. Like
Oh, okay.
it's a massive beanbag, and I managed to hit only his phone. My
Okay.
controller also shattered in half. I was quite depressed.
Doesn't happen with the Xbox controller. Just saying.
Um, with the force that I threw that controller with, I promise you the Xbox controller would have broke as
I
well.
just don't think that's true.
I promise. Alex,
Don't
all
think
right,
it's true.
Adam, you don't understand. The reason
I
his
just
phone broke is because of the amount of force that controller met. It's not like I was just like, gosh darn it. I was like, "Ah!" Right?
I still think that you should try dealing with Xbox and see that same thing occurs.
I just want to let you know, his phone was upside down and the screen.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard you got to throw something for an upside down phone to crack on a beanbag? It's really unfortunate.
I wish I was there. Okay. Well, the MacBook Neo, as you know, this is one thing me and Quasi both agree on, that the Neo is a fantastic, and and no one's gonna convince me otherwise, that this is not a great idea and successful product, because it is just awesome. Like, I am still considering purchasing one. I know it's not for a Pro Series much at all kind of product, but it kind of is in the same sense of it, right? You know, because like if you can edit on it, it can still do what you do for tasks, and it's going
It's
to be
true.
supported for years and years and years. And it's that cheap. It might be enticing enough to buy one. Just to, I guess for me, I want to test it like Quasi does his, and just see if it can still hold up more than anything. I kind of just really want to. And
I don't think it'll last nearly as long. I think it'd be fun, a
well,
fun
okay,
test
not
run.
I'm not saying battery wise. I'm more saying the like what you do for the actual CPU load.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll last nearly as long
Huh?
not battery wise.
No,
I don't think it's gonna be able to do half of what I can do. But
crazy. They had over
it's
82 tabs in Safari and Chrome, mind you, and it still didn't phase it.
yeah,
That's kind of what you do with yours, isn't it?
this is true.
So like it kind of might just do what yours does. The battery itself capacity is not like yours. We know this, but it's also kind of unique that you can just get like a standard iPhone charger and charge it up. That's kind of a cool. It's kind of a cool
Yeah, no,
thing in a
that is
sense.
really cool. I like that.
I
But also,
I
you can get
might.
a standard iPhone charger and charge my current MacBook. It'll just take 18 years, but it works.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
this
does
charge is
work.
20 watts. But you know what? Like, it might be a good challenge to see if it could hold up what I would do on a Mac. I mean, I have the M1 Mac now.
Right?
This is my wife's. I should make that very clear. Um, but she decked it out. I mean, she got the 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte storage. I guess for me, the one thing that I maybe not want to buy this is the measly 512 gig of storage. I don't know who can deal with that at today's age. I mean, you need at least a terabyte. So it's okay though. It's something to consider there nonetheless. MacBook Neo, I'm very proud of it. Good job,
I also
John
really
Turris.
like the
This is
colors of the MacBook Neo. I know some people don't, but I think that the yellow, the blue, I actually think that all the colors are really good. Like it's
I will
a colorful
agree.
MacBook.
I
He
will
doesn't like the
agree that the
pink.
color set is not terrible. It's still a lighter shade pink than I would kind of like to see for some that's pink because we've seen pinks before. Yellow is not bad. So I will have to say the first time that the colors are not treacherous, I would only
Trash.
choose the black, gray, whatever that color is. That's what I would choose. But Quasi, I have to also mention that, there's iPhone colors we have to talk about now. And Quasi's gonna pull these up because we now have the official color set of the iPhone 18 Pro series. And we talked about this before, but now we're gonna show the full lineup. There's one more we didn't talk about, Quasi, and they just kind of been thrown in the mix. So Quasi's gonna pull us up. There's 4 colors of the iPhone 18 Pro. Okay. The very first one is the space black. There's silver, and okay, I gotta get the name right.
Isn't it like a
Dark
cherry?
cherry,
Yep.
which makes sense. That's a dark cherry color. Silver, and then you have light blue. Okay,
You can't say
you're gonna
anything
hear me
bad
say this,
about these.
Quasi.
There's no chance you can say anything bad about these colors, especially that black. Please, I want to see what you have to say. Actually,
Okay, well you're gonna hear it just about now. So first of all, it's not black. It's definitely dark gray. That's what they say. So it's 426C, color. That's what it's supposed to be. So anyway, these colors are not terrible. If these are the exact colors, they're not terrible. I would only choose one color. And Quasi, could you just take a guess what that might be?
blue one. This blue one is absolutely beautiful. Don't tell me
I
dark
would.
cherry.
Nope.
You're
I
getting
would
the
definitely
silver.
choose the black. The black.
Oh, so I just told you it was black, and you told me it was
You
gray.
you literally said light blue.
No, like I said, it was black, and then you told me no, it's not black, it's
Okay,
light
sorry,
gray. So
sorry,
I was
sorry.
like, okay,
Dark
so he doesn't like that one.
dark gray. Dark gray is what I would choose.
I
It's the
just don't think it's
closest thing to
dark
black that we really
gray.
have.
This is not. Oh, I guess it is dark gray, is what it says. Let's see what the Pantone color is.
426C. I mentioned this.
I guess it is. It's a darker gray. It's it's a dark gray.
Now that gray next to it, I just don't like it.
This one
I think
next
it's
to it.
just
Where can I find the one next to it?
well, maybe back in the article.
In the article.
There's a better lineup too if you want to see it. I just don't think I'll get the wine color iPhone, which is
I will
what
be getting the
I'll
blue
say
one.
what it is.
It's time for an
So
upgrade anyway.
you'll get the blue.
I will be getting the blue one.
Wow.
The only unfortunate part is I really like the titanium casing on my phone right now, so I don't think I want to give it up.
So you want to get the black one, huh? Or the dark gray?
No. Like, I definitely want the blue one, right? But I don't want this this aluminum phone, this toy, this broke people phone, right? I'm a rich person. I need the titanium. I can't be doing this. You know that the
Okay.
only reason I bought the 16 and the 15 was for titanium? Oop,
Okay.
I just went to the wrong
Here's a
tab.
dumb question for you, Quasi.
Go ahead.
Have you noticed with the current iOS that when you do updates, it like drastically reduces your battery life?
No, but I will say the other day I was out and about and I had to update my phone and it decided to actually update at the worst possible time, right? Like I
Which
downloaded the
is
update maybe an hour earlier, right? And then I hadn't used my phone for that entire hour, right? And then the second I pick up my phone is when it decides it's gonna actually start the update. So
so
I will
you
say Apple's
don't
inconvenient with it.
put your update in your phone as soon as it comes out from
Dude,
Apple?
it's supposed to be on automatic updates, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
I never has ever done it
It used to
automatically.
work for me.
I guess I've
Uh,
not let my phone do it. Like when I get the news article that there is an update for iOS, within the hour, I have it on my phone.
Oh, you get a
I'm
news
not
article? I
waiting.
just kind of wait till they tell me.
Oh,
They're like, "Hey,
nope.
Quasi, there's a new update available." I'm like, "Great, go ahead and download it to my iPad, download it to my Mac, and whenever you feel like putting it on my phone, you."
Yeah, I just don't do that. So, uh, but this is a lineup. This is a color set. Let us in the comments below what you would get of these color sets because there's some good choices here. But for me, there's only one choice, and that's just the dark gray one, aka black. And it's a better black than we've seen. So I kind of like that. Um, yeah. So let us know what you think of it below.
All right,
Okay.
moving forward. We talk about the iOS updates not 10 seconds ago. And here's the thing, Adam.
I'm
We're not
listening.
really seeing any major updates right now. But in the coming weeks, maybe 2 weeks from now, not 2 weeks. Good Lord, June is not 2 weeks away. Maybe about 6 weeks from now, we'll be seeing some massive updates, right? So we just saw a graphic for WWDC 2026, right? And apparently, it's supposed to show us this graphic is supposed to show us a glimpse of the revamped Siri interface coming in iOS 2027, or sorry, in iOS 27, according to Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, right? And we know that Big Mark is he's pretty reliable, right? So apparently it's going to include a new Siri interface that when you trigger Siri, the dynamic island will show a search or ask prompt. And this will apparently be accompanied by uh, a glowing cursor. And it's going to look similar to how in the graphic it's highlighted, right? Apparently there's also going to be a thin glow around the edges of the dynamic island when Siri is called upon, which I
So
think
they're
is going to
moving
be
it.
really cool. Um, it
That's
definitely doesn't
nice.
do that now.
No, that's like the whole edge of the phone, basically, in the
Yeah,
inside
right now
screen.
yeah, but I think that's gonna be really cool. Also,
I like that
did you
idea,
know that you could
actually.
go back to the old Siri at any time? Did you know that?
Yes. I just thought
I don't know why you'd
that
want to, but
no,
it's
because
a
it brings back a
possibility.
dark time in my life. Let me
A
say.
dark time in your life
Well,
where your
that Siri
Siri
wasn't
wasn't
as
listening to
good.
me.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good now. I literally had I had a conversation with Siri yesterday to just set a timer. I had to ask it 4 times to set a timer, and I said set a 58-minute timer, just like that. The first timer was set for 3 minutes 27 seconds.
What?
The second one set an alarm, which is not a timer,
Somehow this has to be
or
user error. I just can't believe this.
and then it finally set the timer correctly. But there should have been no reason why. An alarm was made, a 3 minute timer was made, and then finally the actual task. Like, it's like telling a person something that hates you in every way, and they defy what you say on purpose. I'm not saying Siri hates me. What I'm saying is, it's like a child that's mad that you took away their Game Boy, their Xbox, or whatever, right? It's like that. And then you ask this person, this little child, to don't forget you have to vacuum today and do your chores. And they say, okay, I won't forget. And they forget. It's like that. It's like it's just constantly defying me when it has sole purpose of doing just what I want to do. And I just wish it was better. And I hope that this is going to be the release that it makes a big change and a big step forward. People like it. Because I will have to agree, it's not where it should be. So I'm excited
Hey,
to
I
see
will
what they're
say,
going to do.
my Siri just seems to be working absolutely amazing. The other day I said set
You're
a
blessed.
timer for 8 o'clock, right? I meant to say set an alarm for 8 o'clock, but it set a timer that would go off at exactly 8 o'clock, and that honestly got the job done just as well. Actually, look at this. Set a timer for 7 o'clock. Look, 7 o'clock is in approximately 41 minutes and 54 seconds. Like I think that's a really cool feature. I didn't know it could do that. Do I wish that it had just set an alarm? No, I don't. I think this is a lot better because I already have 100 alarms in my clock app, and I haven't deleted a single one of them. Not that I use any of those alarms, but yeah, yeah. I mean, that's WWDC 26.
I'm excited for this. I love WWE year. It's every year, but I like this time, and I like to see what Craig Federighi is going to do for his intro, which has been quite wonderful these last couple of years. So I gotta say it's great. Okay, speaking of things that's happening, so we talked about before this podcast that
Go ahead.
touchscreen
I'm gonna go
mouse.
blow my nose really quick. I shouldn't be more than 22 seconds. Just
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
keep talking. I'll be right back.
So the MacBook Pro with touchscreen and the new Mac Studio is likely going to be postponed. Now, what you say, why? Why is this happening? Well, it's because of the global memory chip shortage. This is the RAM, of course, in it, and then even the storage inside the Macs are going to be just delayed enough where they're not going to have these for release this year. And I know you were expecting and really wanting the touch screens to come out. And maybe it's time this happens, but at the same time, is it really a bad thing this is going to be delayed? It's not really, because the touch screen just isn't necessarily what we have to have. We just don't have to have touch screen. And Quasi will back you up on this. But it's okay. Give us some time. It might still come out, but we don't 100% know. Quasi, you're talking about the delay with the
Yeah, I
MacBook
came in and
touchscreen.
I said I agree, and then I realized I had muted myself. But yeah, touchscreens just don't belong on a Mac, Tim
I
Cook, not
agree.
Tim Cook. Steve is turning in his grave right now,
Yeah.
you guys are killing him, Smalls.
After launching the AirPods Max 2, he's turning over now.
Yeah, no,
So
all right.
yeah.
But
Yeah, so
unfortunately
that's being
postponed.
delayed. Any thoughts on this, Quasi? Besides
Yeah, I
just
mean,
that you don't want to see it?
it's really unfortunate. Not that I was gonna upgrade my Mac this year, but for those people that are, you know, they have the last generation Intel Macs and they've been holding on, or they have like an M1 Mac that they don't need to upgrade, but they're like, okay, I'm tired of this touch bar, right? This touch bar is giving me issues because I don't have function keys, right? They can upgrade. Me personally, I
So
really want a touch bar, but some people are blessed and some people are dying of thirst while some people are drowning. It's really unfortunate.
here's a question for you. So let's just say hypothetically the next MacBook Pro series comes out and they only have touchscreen. Does that
Did
change
you say
your
it only has
purchase?
touchscreen?
Yes. Like, do you think they're going to make a touchscreen MacBook Pro and then a non-touchscreen MacBook Pro, or they're just going to do the Pro touchscreen?
Oh, because I was about to say, if it's only a touchscreen thing, it's an iPad, right? But no, that's not what you
I
meant.
should say, okay, a normal MacBook Pro with touchscreen, but that's the only option they have, and not
I
a
mean,
non-touchscreen MacBook
I'm not
Pro.
gonna not get it. Like the touchscreen isn't like a factor that's gonna make me not get the phone or the Mac, right? It will, however, annoy me because people already touch my screen as it is, and guy like me, not a big fan of fingerprints, right?
Me either.
So
But like a touchscreen Mac might like
might
remove the
yeah, it
fingerprints,
might have less fingerprints. So
But
if it definitely comes with if it comes with less fingerprints, then yeah, I mean I'm gonna get it just for the less fingerprints.
here's what I think though. I would get one just to never use a touchscreen. And
Hmm.
maybe you could
That's
just
exactly
turn it
what I'm saying.
off in the software. Maybe you can just do that. I don't know. This is a good question. You can't really turn it off in the iPad because it wouldn't work anymore. So
It's true.
I just it's a good question actually. I wouldn't use touchscreen on a device. I don't want to just do that little I, like okay, here's the other question. What if the MacBook touchscreen did this? Where you can do like the flip over screen kind of thing. So your
Ooh,
keyboard's behind it and
that's
then
not.
you can use it.
I'm not a big fan of those. I'm not a big fan of.
People love that kind of style, though. I tell you, it's very popular.
Really,
Oh,
I don't know
more than it
why.
should be. Yeah, what's so funny is telling someone that this laptop has that functionality when it doesn't and they break it. People
I
are
mean, I
cruel and they
just
do that.
that would hurt my soul.
Me
If someone's
too.
like, no, you could just turn it over, right? And then I try it
So,
and I hear
somebody
all these cracking noises. Oh, I'd be so upset.
someone told me that a person from a store said this is a touchscreen like fold behind thing,
Yeah.
and they found it wasn't, and they had the wrong model. Like it wasn't intentionally to be mean with them. It was they had the wrong model because one different variant in the model number was touchscreen, one was not. They did that and they broke it, shattered the screen, the whole thing. It's like, yeah, you can usually tell with the hinges that it's a foldable back, kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, though, that's something that it's delayed. It's okay. It might still come out. We'll see. Not quite sure yet.
We'll
But that's
see.
just kind of happening right now. So,
Well, on to the next topic. OnePlus just released, or well, they're releasing sorry, they're releasing a Snap-on controller for their next phone to make it kind of like a gaming handheld. So if you know the company Backbone,
like a backbone. Yeah.
yeah, if you know the company Backbone, they make like handheld controllers that mostly for iPhone, but they also work with Android. But it'll just snap on right here. Now you have an actual game controller to play your remote play games on. If I want to play cloud play, that's how I'd do it, right? Um, so now OnePlus is doing that. They've confirmed it that the A6 isn't just a gaming smartphone, but it can also transform into a gaming handheld, which is really cool. Like actually really cool. It's gonna add physical buttons, ultra fast response times, and here's the kicker, right? You know how you're playing games and the chip in the phone gets hot because there's no actual fans inside of phones. They're gonna fix that with a magnetic cooling fan in the snap-on portion. Right? So I think
Is
that's
that
really
going to
cool.
be is that going to be an included accessory or like an after the thought kind of thing?
I mean, I would hope it is because it's really only adding some triggers, right? Everything else is still touchscreen on the phone, so I would assume that it would come included, especially because it's a gaming phone, right? If that makes sense. And I don't know, we'll find out on April 28th, which is what, next Monday? Next Tuesday?
Yeah,
So
very
we'll
close.
find out then and we'll give you guys an update.
The specs that are supposedly in the leaks right now is it'll have 16 gigs of RAM with 1 terabyte of storage. It's going to have a let's see here. Oh yeah, 6.8-inch 1.5 OLED panel, 165 hertz refresh rate, 3D's ultrasonic in-screen fingerprint sensor. It's going to use Oxygen OS 16, 50 megapixel camera, and 8 megapixel ultra wide rear. About an 8,600 milliamp battery. Stable titanium and black. Oh, the colors. Okay. And just way more other features as well. So that's kind of interesting. So
Yeah, man, that's great.
that's pretty interesting for a phone. Like, are they trying to like compete with like the handheld gaming units now on a phone? It's kind of interesting.
I mean, well, you'd have more functionality with this, but you probably could play less games. But I think that's a good trade-off because you can actually carry that around with you everywhere. You're not carrying around your ROG Ally with you in your pocket, literally everywhere. So I think this is a cool trade-off.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
interesting. That sounds very interesting.
indeed.
Okay, cool. Okay, I mean, yeah. So, Queasy, like, if you were not gonna buy an iPhone, would you consider this?
If I was not gonna buy an iPhone, um, it'd be in the consideration, but
Okay,
I can't guarantee that I'd get that as an Android phone. Like I'd probably get a Pixel or the S25. Oh,
see,
I guess
I
more on
wouldn't
the
get
S26
Samsung.
now.
I would get Samsung because
Oh, I would definitely get a Samsung. I'm a huge
they're
fan of the
so
Dex
overhyped.
feature.
They're so
Overhyped.
overhyped.
What other phone do you have that can turn into a computer?
The Oppo, OnePlus,
The
which
Samsung
are
Dex does it the best.
no, like spec wise, these other competitors are just destroying Samsung in every category, as we mentioned before. You do realize that, right? Yeah, I'm not sure you can get the One Plus actually because it's like carriers don't allow that in the United States. But
OnePlus
yeah, like
isn't
the
OnePlus still
Oppo's a
American?
lot better. Huh?
I might be lying here, but I definitely thought OnePlus was in America. They might be out in Singapore. Ooh, Chinese consumer manufacturer backed by Appa. Yeah, I mean,
Do you not know that Samsung is a Japanese company?
no, Samsung is definitely not Japanese. It's definitely from South Korea.
Or that's what I'm to say. Close. They
Yeah,
they
I
both
mean,
have hair, so it's the same thing. But
they both have hair.
no,
Hey,
I'm just saying like it's not Samsung's for sure not an American company, just so you know.
this is true.
Google is, but they don't, you know, yeah. Who knows what Google's doing anymore at this point in time, you know.
I mean,
But
they're currently raising prices for YouTube Premium. That's what they're doing. Wow, I just sounded a little bit salty. I am a little bit salty. Who cares? I'm very salty that my price went up $1. I'm
I,
broke.
just so you know, pay more than that. Now
You
wait a
pay
minute.
more than $1?
Yeah, I'm paying the family plan for it. 35 a month now, I think. It's gonna go up to
Ew,
37.
that hurt my soul.
Yeah, but you know,
35.
like how like you understand, you know how great it is, Quasi, to watch our podcast video without ads. Now I know I can just watch it the raw footage. I get this, but like watching it on YouTube with no ads makes me smile from this side to this side a lot, and I
I
like
don't
that
think we
because
would have
ads.
ads anyway because we're not monetized.
Well, there's ads.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, we just don't get a cut right now.
No, that's insane. Hey, YouTube, figure that out. What the heck?
No, they figured it out. We haven't just we don't meet the criteria quite
What
yet.
criteria? If you're making money off me, I should at least be seeing 10 cents. You know?
If I
Like,
got 10 cents from YouTube, I give it back to them. That's it.
give it back to them.
It costs more money for them to send 10 cents than it would be just to not pay us. You know what I'm saying? If it costs more to send that than to pay us, it's a bad thing. So, speaking of things that are kind of interesting, Quasi, did you know that Spotify, of all people, is selling physical books now?
Yeah, I
Did you
mean,
know that?
I thought that was crazy. You know, I was like, what?
That's like this. That's like, Oberweis saying, guess what, guys? We love doing ice cream. It's such a great success for us. We're going to sell bicycles now.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not to say a bad thing, but it's a completely different approach to what they offer as a product. And I see it in some like physical books. Like they're not even trying to do digital, right? Which would kind of make
yeah,
more sense. And I get they do audiobooks, I get that, but it's just a big jump in what they did before. And I do not know if, as of right now, they're exclusive to just Spotify kind of books. What I'll say is they kind of announced this that they partner with bookshop.org to do physical books, which is an online marketplace for physical books. Independent bookstores selling both physical and digital books. But I just did not think this is going to be a thing. And
was not on my
I'm not
bingo
upset
card.
about this. It's a twist of what they're offering. Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought we were at the era of like physical books dying because of just well, it's a lot cheaper to send a book through an ebook than it would be to physically print a book out and then put it in the store and then having the store sell it and all that other stuff, right? Like, I just kind of thought that was dying as a thing. So to see this kind of happen is a good twist on things. And maybe I'm wrong in this market where it's still a thing and we should just embrace it. Like,
I
I
mean,
don't
yeah.
know.
Sometimes you gotta go back to the past. You know, like it's very important to read. I personally read all the time. And I'm not talking about like read the captions on a YouTube video, right? I actually, I just finished a book called Masterminds by Gordon Corman. In my spare
Okay.
time, I do actually. I I challenge you all to put down your phones this week. Like I'm constantly putting down my phone. Actually, I'm constantly losing my phone, which is why
Did you tell what happened this morning?
yeah. Oh my goodness. So this morning, I oh this is really embarrassing, but this morning Adam's outside waiting for me, right? okay, I got to get out there, right? I just placed my Starbucks order, right? I was 98% sure I put my phone down after placing said order, right? So I'm out here looking for my phone, right? And I turned on the flashlight on my phone to help me search for my phone. And for a good 5 minutes, I'm walking around looking for my phone with my phone in my hand. And then I get a notification, my phone buzzes. I'm like, it was just really disappointing. Right? The
Done that
notification
so
was
many
that my
times.
Starbucks order was done, which is what I have over here. I got my Trenta vanilla sweet cream cold brew. But
I should send
really
you
disappointing.
the video that I sent Chase about cold brew. And
Cold brew is delicious.
oh, that's not why the video is good. It's a different take on cold brew that you probably were not expecting. I'll send it to you right now but we're not going to talk about the podcast. So, but in
What
any
we are going to
case,
talk about on the podcast, though, is the new Windows 11 speed boost for May.
yeah,
Which,
we kind of bash 11 so much for Windows,
I'm still going
and
to
I
bash it.
want to give some better, insights here.
It's still Windows. Don't get me wrong. But actually, you know what? I gotta take it back. Windows was my roots. It's not like growing up. Yes, I had both a Mac in the house and a Windows computer, and my brother would always be on the Windows computer, which is why I learned to love Mac OS. But to be quite honest with you guys, Windows isn't bad, right? Windows is the first operating system I played Minecraft on, right? My dad, I think what really got me was my dad bought like a really cheap, like 2-in-1 computer that was a tablet that turned into a computer. And it was, man, even for the time, the specs were garbage, right? You couldn't do anything but run Word on that thing. But I managed to run Minecraft on it. And it was kind of bad, but I enjoyed my time, right?
What was your first Windows OS that you used?
The first one that I used, hold on, let me look at the
I'll tell
interfaces.
you the first one I used, Windows ME,
ME. I
Dark
was,
Ages.
I wasn't even born.
I know.
Good God. It might have been XP.
No, XP was the goat.
I lied. It
So much
was
the
it was
goat.
definitely Vista. And then I used Windows 7, followed by
Seven's
8 and
awesome.
8.1.
I think seven's
Windows
my
8
favorite
made it
one.
look like an Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. And then Windows 10 was my goat. Like I was depressed when they changed to Windows 11 because Windows 10 was that good.
11 has some good ambitions to start with. I was a beta tester, and it's kind of gone different direction. Let's just say that.
Okay, but can we admit that Windows 10 might have been the greatest operating system of all time?
No, 7 of the Windows Series OS was the best one of all time.
Really, Windows 7?
Oh yeah, heck yes.
I don't know. It was Windows 7 was really good. Don't get me wrong. Windows 7 was definitely better than Windows 8. But I don't know. I think
10.
Windows 10 was
Okay.
unfortunately 10 is when they started integrating ads. So
Well, there's
that's
that.
the
the
one
The
big
other
bad.
issue with 10 was they had like the kind of you know, forced Windows account, Microsoft account to get into the computer. Didn't like that so much. And let me tell you, Windows 10 was supposed to be the last operating system from Microsoft. Well, liars on pants on fire because now you have 11. They're
No,
making
they
12 right
realized
now.
you can only make so much money off the same operating system.
Here's the thing. It's like the only operating system besides I think one more that I know of that is a non-free operating system. So why? Is there
Oh yeah, I don't
bloatware
pay a
and
dime for.
ads? And like just I think even today when you get Windows 11 or 10, you get Candy Crush and a bunch of other crap games installed with it, which is not the full version of the game for free.
Stop right
Let's
there.
let's let's
Stop
say
right
that
there.
right there. It's here's a
Solitaire is a
demo of it.
great pre-installed game. Okay,
It's not there
Solitaire is
anymore.
great. Oh wow, I
Bless
just
you, I think.
sneezed. I just
Yeah, because you heard some BS in the air. It's just not there anymore.
yeah,
It's
that's
it's
really
they took
unfortunate.
it away. I mean, they had Minesweeper and all these other great games
Oh
just
man,
gone.
Minesweeper was something else. I could never win that game.
Yeah, I would, like I try to figure out the mechanics of it.
Yeah,
Like if I went
I
here,
wasn't
and
smart
they had the
enough.
numbers around it, that scared me a little bit. I mean, because like I don't know, I thought I was like a bomb defusing person, and I realized that if I were to have that job, I would suck at it because I was so bad at this game. It was just not good at all. But I mean, I'm sorry, but that bus is gonna become rubble pretty soon if they send me out there. And, you ever notice this in movies? The person who comes to defuse the bomb has this like very thick, big helmet of what's going on, what
Mind
and
you,
whatnot.
it's
And
not
then guess what they
stopping
do?
any.
Here, no, what? No, that might. But here's what they do. They come in, walking into the bomb location, right? All slow, like like they're an astronaut, kind of, with gloves on. And they come to the bomb defusal process, take off the gloves with bare hands. Which, if there's a bomb that's going to go off, their hands are gone. They're just
Okay, but they're gonna
going a
die
block or
anyway.
two away. I'm just
They're gonna
saying,
die.
it's funny how they had this entire suit on, right, to defuse a bomb, but like the hands are 100% not protected at all.
I agree. I
Even with
think
the
that's
gloves they
really
had on as they're walking up to the bomb, it would do nothing. It wouldn't do anything to stop a bomb from like destroying their hands. So I feel
well. I
like
think the
that
bigger issue is
whoever's in
that the bomb is
charge
gonna go off
of
and they're
like,
gonna die anyway.
well, I think whoever's
Right?
in
It's a
charge of
bomb.
making the bomb defusal suit just like fell asleep at the hand protection stage. And I feel bad for these people because, they shouldn't do that. I
This is
don't
true.
know. Guess I just feel bad for them. They're already walking to a very dangerous situation. And heaven forbid they have to go to the bathroom right then and there because that's going to be hard to get off all that stuff. But their hands are just not protected at all. And I feel bad for them. Give them some protection.
I agree.
Maybe I'm just going crazy here.
They need a little bit more.
So, you were mentioning the fixes for Windows 11. Sorry, Quasi.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I went off topic again.
So first and foremost, right, as always, it's a security update. Right, go ahead and download it. Um, File Explorer is going to get faster with fewer glitches and it's supposed to be more reliable, which is really
It's so
cool.
bad right now.
The settings app and the UI state consistency is supposed to improve, right? I wouldn't know what's going on over there because I'm not having any trouble with my settings, but that's unfortunate. Drop tray, which was previously drag tray, can now be used reliably. Um, so when you were trying to drag a file or folder through the top part of the screen, it used to like glitch out and not allow you to do it. But now that they changed the name, it should be fixed. Clipboard, the clipboard history, which is a feature that we don't have here on Mac. I think that's a really cool feature for Windows. But now it's the delay that you get when you try to open that is going to be much less, right? Then you can see the storage setting performance in large volumes. So if I have a CD that God knows nobody's using CDs anymore, but I can see I can see how healthy it is and stuff.
Actually, a lot of stuff they're doing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, they are doing some quite good things. Input typing and input comma typing comma and voice dictation are going to be consistent across the board, right? So now I'm not going to struggle to open that in Chrome and kind of speak through it in Chrome when I'm not struggling in like the Notes app. Um, the startup application performance and memory management is going to be improved. Just when you start your computer and you have all these things marked for startup, right? Let me just tell you guys real quick. You might have some things marked for startup that you don't need to start on your computer. Go ahead and go to
Yeah.
Task Manager and turn those off, right? I remember when I had my Windows computer not too long ago. It was what would open it by itself? Spotify would open up on startup. I don't need Spotify to
Acrobat for
open.
no reason.
Yeah, McAfee. I don't need McAfee to open up. there's a lot of stuff that wants to open on
Terrible.
startup. Just go ahead and go make sure that you actually need those apps to start up. Um, you're gonna see better stability across display, audio, and font rendering. All right. And of course, it's a security update. They're gonna add some security features that you're not gonna even realize is there. But trust. You're more secure now. All right.
Big update, Stringer, I'll tell you that.
This is true.
Yeah. So I'm
Um,
excited for this, for
yeah.
sure. Just because we've seen some issues with Windows 11, let's just say that, and it's not as reliable as it should be. And they're going to also probably focus on removing some of the AI functionality with Copilot because it doesn't have to be in everything. Like, Copilot should never be integrated and, like, forced to use Notepad at all, nor get its location when using Notepad. I don't know about that. That just rubs me the wrong way. But speaking of things rubbing me the wrong way, Quasi, RAM shortages. We
Yeah,
talked
man.
about this before. We thought that we'd see some light with some, discounted RAM and something in stock, which we do see it kind of still, but we still see the issue of, well, AI is still heavily using RAM, if you can believe this. And we do not expect the shortage of RAM to really at all weaken in the current state of what it's at
It's
for
actually
at least
probably
another year and a half. Yeah. Like, when's this going to start affecting iPhones and smartphones and stuff like that? Because we're seeing the Mac getting delayed,
hey. So I'm
but
gonna actually need you to not jinx us right now and just go ahead and knock on wood. Absolutely outrageous that you would even
I
say a
mean,
thing like that. It better not touch my phone.
Apple secured RAM before this occurred for the current iPhone, so like that's not going to be an issue. But like the next one, oh no, I just don't know. So we'll
Yeah,
see about
it could
that.
be rough.
Just wanted to let people know, in case they're like, what's the update of this RAM stuff? It's still an issue. It's still highly expensive. I was at Walmart, and I know Walmart's not my favorite store, but they had a 2 terabyte SSD, right, when it's portable with USB-C. Guess how much that was, Quasi? Just take a wild guess.
$400.
$384.
I was right there. I was right there.
Pathetic, that price point. Like seriously, that's dang near getting close to a MacBook Neo. Not quite there, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
that's
do.
insanely expensive. Like, that's so much more food that you can purchase than buying that. I'll say they had quite a bit in stock. They weren't flying off the shelves. I didn't see Grandma Marge buy anything like that at all. So you guys know. Alrighty. So we have come to the one more thing segment before we get to our product app of the week. Casey, do you have anything this week that you want to discuss?
Do I have anything this week that I want to discuss?
Yeah, it's kind of
Do you
like,
want to go first?
I don't have much. I've been really busy lately. I'll say that much. Just things of the weekend. It's fun. Had a good time. And I actually won Domino's for playing with my grandparents and stuff on Sunday. And I just don't believe that. I don't know how I did it. Like, I didn't win that many games. I just, for the games that I lost, I had less points overall. And that's what did. I won 3 games, which is still kind of rare. But so that's like some exciting news, I guess. And I'm not an expert in dominoes. I usually get the worst hand possible. But it's just how it is. How about you, Quasi?
Well, for me, for the first time in my entire college career, my parents are coming to visit me. They'll be
Oh,
here.
that's awesome.
Actually, the day this will be released, they would have been here for an entire day. And then we're going to Iowa for my cousin's graduation. And I'm just really happy that they're coming, Like I've been here on my own for quite some time. And, you know, it'll be nice to have my dad in the state. I can show him my apartment, show him, have him meet my friends, have him meet my pastor,
They
have him
should,
meet Adam in person. It's
sure.
gonna be
Yeah,
really
just let me
cool.
know.
Yeah.
You have to just make sure you tell them to bring a winter jacket and,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know,
should probably let them know that because it's gonna be freaking 32 degrees for no reason.
and then on top of that, the best part of that is the wind.
Oh yeah,
It can't stop.
they don't know about it yet. Actually, they
They have
both know
no
about it
idea.
because they were both in the Navy, and the Navy has its boot camp up in Great Lakes. But
Yeah.
gosh, I think they forgot. I think we need to reintroduce them to this
And they're
horrible.
gonna walk outside with like some flip flops and shorts on, and they're gonna be like, "Burr, I'm going back inside to
Just
change."
burr.
I don't know what else. Like, it's just so. I have lived here actually my whole life, right? And I've never
That sucks.
in my life experienced so much wind in the last 2 years. Like, seriously, there are days that I wonder if I jump up, if I can float like at least 2 feet before I just land again because it's so windy. It's so windy. Like, if you have a napkin that you hold like this, good luck, it'll be gone. I can't believe that we have flags left standing because it's so windy.
I
It
know.
doesn't
It's like
stop.
they're
It's
dang near ripping.
constant. It's so constant. Like, if you put your coffee on top of your car, gone. It's gone. It's in your neighbor's yard now. It might bounce in a trampoline, hit their mailbox. You don't know. But the problem is, why can't I set my coffee in my car to get in the car? Because
Yeah.
you can't hold a coffee and use one finger or two to open up your door. You can try that, but the chance of you dropping your coffee is so high you don't want to even try it. So we have too much wind. And you know what? It's all coming from Canada. Why is the wind getting taxes and tariffs? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Blame
Charge us
Canada.
wind some tariffs. I know it's
Promise
getting
you
a
it'll
little
stop coming
political,
as
but
much if we yeah, put you know what? Big DT, I'm gonna need you to put all the tariffs. All of the tariffs on the
it's
wind.
just why? Like, are we without trees or like some barriers for the wind?
Couldn't
Like,
tell you, bro.
you can't even stand behind a stop sign and not feel wind. It's so much, and stop should mean stop for the wind too, not just the people. And I don't get it. Like, it's so much. It's
Are
so
you not
much
enjoying
wind.
your time here? I can't fathom not enjoying
No,
it.
no, here's what gets me. I go as my daily routine in the morning. I look at my weather app. Man, it's gonna be nice. 76 degrees today. But it's one of those things, Quasi, that in the morning it's gonna be like winter. And then it's gonna be like, spring and summer for like, middle afternoon. And then you get into the evening, once again, you have to put on your winter jacket, you have to get like the heat pads to your hands, and you have to make sure you put your feet in boiling water so your feet don't freeze. Like, it's just that bad. Why is it 6 seasons in one day? It's ridiculous. You
Mind you,
know?
the other day, uh, what, Friday was 81 degrees. So we planned to go to the beach on Saturday and it turned out to be 32 degrees.
Yeah. You have to walk on ice.
I just want to make this very clear. I hate this state.
It's not just a state though. Other states are like that too. I mean, I don't know. What I will tell you is this: it is the wind is not necessary all the time. If it's cold, the wind needs to stop automatically. Like, seriously, no one's like, "Oh my
Mind
gosh,
you,
it's really cold today."
it'll be
See,
super
I
hot.
want wind so badly. Like, I cannot wait to walk out, and it's already so cold my face hurts. And now my face hurts even more because the wind. Like, it hits you so much that you have pain in your eyes.
Okay, but here's the worst part. It'll be 87 degrees. And you'll be like, hey, where's the same wind from the winter? Wind's not blowing not 1 mile per hour. Not 1 mile per hour. I can't understand it. Right? When I want
There's
the
days,
wind doesn't want to be there. When I don't want the wind, he's showing up.
but here's the thing: there are days too. It's really nice, lots of wind. Seriously, people playing like frisbee or whatever, right? Well, they throw a frisbee and it goes to Texas because it's so windy. Like, they lose their frisbees. Forget about flying a kite. They're gonna think it's a
God
UFO
forbid you
because it's
try to
going
fly
so
a kite.
far.
You will go with the kite.
Oh my gosh.
Like you you're not making it back.
Yeah. Like, at this point, I'm not sure why planes have to even use fuel. You know,
When they fly over Illinois, just smooth
turn it
sailing.
off
Turn off
and
the
go to
engines.
auto. Like, yeah, just like the paper airplanes, they'll just float forever. I don't know. I know it's a long thing about wind, but like if you're in the state of Illinois, you know what we're talking about. And it's so Like it's like before it was Northern Illinois that kind of got this, right? Michigan kind of area, stuff like that too, right?
Aren't we kind of in North?
And oh, kind of in the middle, kind of. But at the same time, I just have never experienced so much wind. And I don't know what it's about. I don't know, like, there's just no, like, did we order it and it's just not stopped? I don't know.
Yeah, somebody placed an order not too long ago.
I don't like, it
Back in the
just
70s.
doesn't make sense to me. And it's really just so unpredictable. Like, that's the worst part. I don't know. Like the other day we had some storms, those thunderstorms, and the rain was going like this. Not like this or like this,
Yeah.
but straight parallel with the ground.
There was also a
So
tornado. Just
I
love this
know
place. Just love
it
this
was
place so
weird.
much.
I could walk outside. The ground was dry, but it was raining. And the sides of trees are wet. Tell me that's not wrong. Like where gravity has to compare itself to wind and negotiate if it can even be used. You
Yeah, no,
know?
it's something about this state, man.
You could drop your coffee cup, it would go into your neighbor's yard and stick on a tree and not fall down. You just walk over there and just pick it up. Sorry, so many analogies for
No,
wind. I'm just saying
I'm
so
completely
much
right there
wind.
with you.
It's so much. And it just ruins fun, you know? Like, you can't even, like, I'm surprised there's not tsunamis because of the wind. Just be, well, that's what makes them, isn't it?
I just no, I think earthquakes under the ocean cause tsunamis.
Probably very true. Just saying, wind also makes the waves big too. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, this is true. You know, here's the thing, right? I lived in Guam in 2023 when Typhoon Mawar hit, right? This is a Category 5 typhoon, right? I'm
Man,
talking winds of 100 miles an hour. And for me, that was absolutely insane, right? I come to Illinois, it's just hitting every day. What the heck is going on here? Granted, it's not raining heavy every day, making it not a typhoon every day. But these winds in this state, man, the trees are really resilient. Let me tell you, because if you bring this wind to like New Jersey or something, every tree will be blown over.
I
Like
have a
it's
coworker that has on multiple occasions, when it's this windy, brought a coffee cup
just a
without a
bad
lid.
idea. Just a bad idea.
With no lid. Like, you
Just
know,
a
one of
bad.
those, like, you pour coffee in your house, drink it, you know, like little, those. No lid. What a ballsy move that is. You are more confident than, like, any person on earth that someone's not going to fall into it, that the winds are going to make it, like, just go right outside the coffee cup and fall on the ground, or that it's just going to just catch the wind and just fly away. I don't know, I could never walk across a big outside scene and with a open coffee cup with no lid.
Yeah,
That's insanity. Like that's a definition of like psychotic, you know, to think that that's just okay. Birds fly over this, you know, and we know birds are expert marksmen. I had a bird take a dump under my handle, my truck at the time. Do
no,
you
I
know
didn't
how
know
this bird had to go
that.
upside down while flying to make that kind of connection?
That's
There was nothing on top
very
of
impressive.
this. Under the handle. So you go reach under it and you open it. That's where it was.
Oh, nice.
And I saw him at a distance laughing at me as I went to
You
reach
saw
to
the
open
bird
my car.
laughing at you.
Oh, it was so evident. He was sitting on the tree looking at me and he went like this and moved like this. So he was laughing. And I named him George. And George was, it's so impressive. I wish it just wouldn't happen to me at all. But like, you've noticed that birds are expert marksmen. And I'm just saying, that's the target that they'll just, you know, practice with. You know, you think it's creamer for your cup of coffee, but it's not. Just saying. That'd be terrible. You get your coffee, you open it up to mix it with a straw because you need to because it's not mixed properly, and that happens. What do you do at that point?
You realize that it's just not your day, and You try to make the
Yeah, but
best of it.
like you realize this after your first sip of coffee, which tastes for some reason abnormally different. And you couldn't figure out why. And now it's ruined. You can't fix it. There's nothing you can do. You can't get a filter and get rid of it. It's not part of your coffee. It's become one with the coffee. You know?
Yeah,
Not a good thing at all.
I would not make
Could, could you go to Starbucks or something and say, "Can I get like a replacement?" Like they probably feel so sorry for you, you know, because they didn't do this.
it's true.
So
That's like
anyway, let's go to our product and app of the week, Quasi.
okay. Um, so my product of the week is actually going to be this poker set. Right. And you might say, Quasi, why are you doing a poker set? And to that, I say, mind your own business, right? I have friends who I want to beat in poker. And as such, I don't bet. I don't have any real money to bet, right? I'm a broke college student, but poker is just fun, right? Now, I
I
would
wish I
say
knew how
if
to
you,
play. I'm
huh?
bad. I'm awful at poker.
Oh, well, I'm not the world's greatest player either. Like if I had
Why are
enough
they
money to
sitting
bet on
down like
poker,
that
I
on a
would lose.
table?
I don't
Do they
know.
not know that
I
tables
was wondering
exist with
that same
chairs?
thing. Like, do people actually sit crisscross applesauce to play this game? It's just
Well, the one guy on the left really is, he's really trying to figure it out. But
yeah, no, he's struggling here. this is not this is not it. And
it's
she
probably
looks really
because they're
happy. I
outside
just don't
somehow in
believe her.
Illinois and it's windy and he can't figure it out. So
Something like
that's kind
that.
of what it
But
is.
yeah, this is my app of the week. Or sorry, this is not an app at all. This is my product of the week. I would not recommend if you have gambling problems. If you have gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER, I think it's called. Wait, hold on. Gambling.
Well, you know,
Uh,
why don't you just like play and not gamble with money? You know,
yeah. But if you do have some issues, 1-800-GAMBLER is definitely your best bet. If you know
if you
you
live in, sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, okay.
So if you live in Illinois, just gamble or win if you want
Yeah,
to gamble.
please and then please make sure you lose.
Yes,
Please make sure you lose. I'd rather have no wind year round than the wind we have right now.
just
Like I
less of
actually
it. You know?
50% less and we're chilling.
Yeah. Okay. My product of the week is the Mighty Bar, LT, I think is what it's called. So I kind of have this device, and I never showed this before in the podcast, but it is from Night Eyes. Let's see if I can show this. It's like a little bit pry bar with some, Phillips and flathead and some 9/16 and stuff like that, or 5/16 little, bits. Kind of cool little device to open up some boxes and whatnot, and a pry tool for things. It's really cool. But I've been seeing this so much. I've been really wanting to get one of these, and I think I might very soon. Because like I constantly open up packages from Amazon for the wife or me or my daughter, whatever the case is, or at work, or I pry things because sometimes things just don't open as they should. Usually, most containers and buckets and whatnot, and you can also use it to just like even like for a flathead experience. But I think as a utility, it's really kind of cool. And for some reason, it's a complete blank screen on Quasey screen now, but it's okay. It just went white like that. There it goes. But yeah, that's my product of the week. It's a very inexpensive device. It's titanium fully. It's very powerful. And I think I want to get one so bad because I kind of use that kind of stuff all the time. That's my product of the week.
Okay. Do you want to just double back with your app of the week real quick?
Let's go with that. Mine this week is Discord. And why I choose Discord is because it's a great app for several different reasons. Lots of games use this, communities use this, of course. And it's such a great little way to be part of the community and get updates for things and various other great things. Like our podcast is on there, if you didn't know that. Just a lot of great things that Discord does. It took over TeamSpeak. I'm so glad because this is also free. There is a paid subscription, which I do pay for other advanced features, but it's such a great app and I love it. And mine's Discord.
I mean, Discord is great. I
Love
started
it.
opening it more to interact with my community of viewers, and then nobody interacted with me when I typed, and I got really sad and I got discouraged, and it really hurt my feelings. So if you guys want to, you know, actually, guys, don't even go to the Discord. You guys don't even like me anyway, so it's completely fine. right? My app of the week this week is going to be Disney Speedstorm, right? Now, I was in the App Store and I saw Lightning McQueen, and it took me back to my childhood. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna download this Lightning McQueen app. Come to find out, you start the game as Mickey Mouse, right? And it's a racing
Okay.
game. I cooked everybody. All right, I'm the best novice at this game ever. Okay, now I'm not great at it yet. Right, you can like play online and stuff. I'm not doing that yet because I will lose. But from what it seems, it's a great game. It's rated really highly, so I recommend you guys check that out. It's really fun. That's my app of the week.
Okay. And have you made a choice to make any in-app purchases in this game?
Absolutely not. Hey, so there's only three apps I've ever made in-app purchases in. One was Clash Royale because I needed 150 gems to get an emote. Right? I do regret that purchase.
An
The
emote.
other, yeah, the other was Pokemon Go because I needed Pokecoins to upgrade my item storage, or sorry, my Poke storage. Right? And then what was the third one?
2K?
No, that's not an in-app purchase. That's just a purchase I make on the console. Hold on,
On
I can
like
check.
iPhone. I see what you're saying.
I can check. Give me 2 seconds, guys.
There's got to be
Pur-
another one that you've done.
purchase history.
You really
I
have to
need
have that.
to
Some besides
put
that.
my Apple account password in. I'm not entirely sure what my password is, so we're gonna autofill it.
Most people just don't, you know? They
You
just
know,
don't
yeah. I
anymore.
mean, like when it's just a bunch of random words and letters, or letters and numbers, that's kind of what happens. It's really unfortunate. Here we go. It's loaded. Oh, Moises. That's the other in-app purchases that I have. Moises was my app of the week not too long ago. Actually, it was probably really long ago. It's the app where I put in all my music and then I can adjust
Oh,
like the
yeah.
individual layers of sound, and I use
Yeah,
that
you
for when I'm
mentioned that.
practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my other in-app purchase, and that
Whoa. What about the Apple Suite thing that has Premiere and all that stuff with it?
oh,
Was
that's
that
not an
purchased
in-app
through?
purchase. That's like the creator studio that I currently have. First and
Yeah,
foremost, let
that.
me tell you guys, Main Stage was one of the greatest things I've ever acquired. Like, thank you, Apple, for showing me Main
Okay.
Stage and for giving it to me for $2.99 a month. I am forever in your debt. Except, really, I hope I'm not forever in debt to Apple because that would kind of suck. But yeah, I mean, the Apple Creator Studio
It's
is
the
good
how
too.
much? Only $3 a month for everything?
Uh, I have an education discount, but I think for regular people, it's what 12.99, 8.99. I don't know. Apple Creator.
Just kind of wish I knew what the price was.
You can try it free apparently. Didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Wish I just knew what that
Uh,
kind of was.
I don't know. It just says try it free. It's not showing me the price. I know we talked about it.
Open. Okay.
Studio
That's great.
price. 12.99 a month
Huh.
or 129 a year, which honestly is cheaper than Premiere Pro, and you get a lot more, right? Or
Okay.
if you don't want the Creator Studio, you can just buy everything outright, or
That's nice too.
buy what you want outright. Like if you just want Final Cut, buy Final Cut outright. Unrelated, Final Cut will take all of your storage. I'm not joking.
You did say that.
It will just start creating random files. 800 gigabytes. I'm not even trolling about the number. 800 gigabytes of random files. So just be prepared for that if you're buying Final Cut Pro. I didn't know that. I haven't used Final Cut Pro since I was back in the 8th grade. So I was like, man, I can't wait to get back to Final Cut Pro. No, there's a reason people use Premiere. There's definitely a real reason. There's that. Regardless, guys, join the Discord. Interact with us. If you got this far in the video, let me know what your favorite condiment is. Right? Do you like barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, what ranch? I know a lot of people like ranch.
Depends
I
on
really
what you're
like.
using it on too.
Yeah, it does. But this place in Guam. Well, I guess it's out of Guam too, because there's a California Pizza Kitchen, obviously in California. But at California Pizza Kitchen, they have this ranch with these egg rolls, and it's like an orange ranch. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I'd put that on literally everything. Hold on, let me find out what I'm
Okay.
talking about. CPK Ranch. It's probably the herb ranch dressing. Nope, this is not the one. It's not orange. You guys just gonna have to trust me on this one. They have
We will definitely trust you on this one.
a really good one. So,
Okay.
just let me know your favorite condiment. Let me know what we can do better, right? If you hate Adam's voice, we can get him replaced. I'm of course joking. We'll just we'll get him like a voice modifier or something if you guys hate him. If you guys hate me, I could definitely be replaced. Uh
Not
we
really.
get the little thing that changes the voice. I can make my voice silky smooth. I can make my voice deep. If you just tell me what you guys want to hear. Hey, I could start talking like this the entire time. You know what I mean? Like I'd say, hey, come on now. Let us know what we can do to improve. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next episode. Adam, do you have anything you want to add?
Just have a fantastic week, everybody. Just make sure that, you share this episode with your friends and family. Those you don't even know. It could be bought from the supermarket. It doesn't really matter. I really appreciate you guys just keep following us and listening to us, and we will see you next week.
We will
And,
see.
we want to keep following this topic with Tim Cook changing roles in Apple, and we'll see how that kind of goes. Okay, have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Last week. Adios.